Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to react to this video. It's a heated exchange between people who work at a restaurant and a transgender individual who believes that there was misgendering taking place. And every time I see these videos, it really still disturbs me that this is even a thing, to be honest. That this is even a thing. Even when someone says sir accidentally, it's made into a huge ordeal for all parties involved. And basically, there's people who have been called to lose their jobs for calling someone a sir, for calling somebody who is male a sir. And I still can't believe that this really is a thing, that we're really pushing for this so-called misgendering to be treated in the same light as, you know, calling people slurs, racial slurs, derogatory slurs against women. They want this to be treated within the same light. It's safe to say that if somebody worked in a restaurant and they called somebody, you know, a racial slur, or they said something derogatory, they called a woman the B word, it's safe to say they would probably lose their job. And they want the same thing when somebody doesn't see them as the gender that they want you to see them as. Even when it's an accident, when you call them a sir by accident. So I'm not condoning people being rude and harassing people and basically going out of their way to offend somebody. I'm not condoning that. But at the end of the day, you can't force people to see you in the way that you want them to see you. I think when it comes to actual women, you know, females, if someone accidentally called them sir, I don't think they would try and get that person fired. I don't think they would make a complaint to the manager. I really don't. Because you would assume that it was an accident and the person just made an embarrassing gaffe. Because we know that we are women, so we don't have to try and get people to see us a certain way. But when it comes to this whole gender ideology, it's a matter of forcing people to see you in a certain way, and they want consequences. And they want people to intervene too. That's another thing that I got out of this video. I got a sense of, I want to be protected, and I want everyone to rally around and protect me, affirm me. Everyone needs to be involved in affirming who I believe I am. Then let's take a look.
Sir, I know you're not talking to me. Are you talking to me? What?
What they say? Sir.
Sir?
Is there a reason you're misgendering?
Okay, so just to explain what's going on here. This person claims that they were walking by minding their own business. And the people who work in the restaurant, they stand outside. Maybe they're greeting people who come in, or they might actually interact with people who walk by and persuade them, you know, to come in, or they might shout out what offers are on or whatever. It depends. I've seen people outside restaurants talk to you when you walk by, trying to like get you to be interested in coming inside. It could be that. But this person is claiming that, yeah, I was minding my own business and this guy just decided to call me sir, knowing that it would get a reaction from me. That's the impression I get. So that's the claim this person is making. Now, again, like I said, I don't condone people being rude, going out of their way to be rude to somebody and to offend them. However, there are two sides to every story, and it could just be that the restaurant workers were just interacting with people as they walk by and use the pronoun that, you know, this transgender individual is not happy with. It could be as simple as that.
You're calling me as sir? You're calling me as sir.
She's not a man.
Do I look like a sir?
Don't film at me. Well, you have multiple people talking that you're misgendering her intention.
You know what you're doing. You know you're on a public sidewalk. Don't touch my shit.
Don't film me.
Don't touch
Don't
my
misgender
shit.
her.
So now the restaurant worker is getting upset that they're on camera, and that's creating a whole new issue. So, you know, you're accosting him because he said sir. Notice there's no evidence of him saying anything else other than that. That is the offensive word. No effing, there's no F words, there's no, you know, B words or anything like that. You know, no profanity. Simply says sir, and this is the reaction. So now we're putting people on camera, which seems to be a common theme. When it comes to these misgendering gates, There seems to be a common theme where they get people on camera, name and shame, name the restaurant, get the employee's face so they can be put on the person's TikTok account and, you know, shamed.
Don't be a disrespectful person. Don't be disrespectful. You're on a public street. No one was talking to you. You talked to me first. Learn from this. Learn from this.
You are, sir. Well, to us, you're a asshole. How about that? Okay, thank you, guys. Go now.
What's the name of the restaurant? Hold on.
I just want to state for the record that they were the first to begin to use profanity and name call. Apparently, calling someone sir is worse than calling someone an effing a-hole. Calling someone sir is worse than using all sorts of profanity.
Hi, is there a manager? Manager?
No.
Someone then who's in charge of you. The guy in the front is a asshole who's working at your front. Your host. Your host. So is there a manager or somebody?
Yeah.
You see how this person comes at people. You come into the restaurant, of course, the common theme is they want to report you to the manager. You come into the restaurant and you're using all sorts of profanity at a place of business. Why is it okay for you to approach a place of business in this manner, but it's not okay for someone to call you sir when you are male? This is what I don't understand. You're coming into their restaurant. I mean, there are patrons there eating their food, minding their own business, and you're creating a scene because you don't like the fact that somebody called you sir.
Hi, your host is an asshole. I'm walking past, he's calling me a man and a sir for no reason.
The guy in the front, your host.
I'm
the younger one.
No one was talking to the guy. I'm walking down the street.
He's sir.
No, he's an asshole.
Just walking by.
Triple down on it. As I correct him, you're a man. You're a man. Why is he even talking to me? It's not your fault. I'm just pissed.
It's principle of the thing.
He's an asshole. Screaming at me on the street.
Thank you.
He can't do that.
He said he could do whatever he wanted to, by the way.
No, he can't.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, thousands of people just watched that on my phone.
So sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Thank you.
I'm f***ing pissed. This is the restaurant.
What does that have to do with anything? You just said it's not your fault. You said that to the host, that it's not your fault, but you're still going to shame the restaurant. It sounded like the host was reasonably sympathetic. I just get the impression that it's never good enough. It's never good enough. They want you to be punished, and they want to see you punished publicly. It's not good enough just to say, oh, sorry about that, I'll talk to him or whatever. I get the impression that's never good enough with these people. Yes, I said these people.
Him, right there.
Say you're sorry, guys.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You're an asshole.
Toast.
You. Fuck off.
You.
Fuck off. You. What's the name of the restaurant, please? Perfect. Great. Fucking asshole.
No.
No. You.
Both of you.
You could have said something too. You could have said something.
Triple down. That's fucking bull.
Fuck you. Fuck off.
It doesn't fucking matter.
You could have stood up for me. You could have stood up for me.
Doesn't matter.
Learn from this. Learn from it. Learn from
And
it.
he kept going, and that means he's a fucking asshole. Who
People like me die every single day. People like me die every day because of people like you and him.
This is the thing I cannot abide. The hyperbole. No, they don't. They don't die every day because someone didn't intervene when you were so-called misgendered. So stop. If anything, you making such a claim actually makes a mockery of what you're trying to do. It makes a mockery of your cause. Stop it. If it's not that, it's the whole unaliving. They say because of people like you, you know, people are unaliving themselves within that community. And again, all of these claims without any evidence. A lot of the cases that we hear of somebody who happens to be within that community who ends up dying is not necessarily because, you know, they were killed due to their identity. It just happens to be that's what their identity was. They will take any case and say, you know, it's because of their identity. They never wait for the facts to come out before they exploit it. And you can't tell me that radical leftists, this administration, are not all about exploiting tragedies to push their agenda. You using all this hyperbole because somebody called you sir discredits you. It discredits you. And if anything, it sends the wrong message to young people who may be dealing with gender dysphoria, because it perpetuates the idea that everyone's out to harm them. People want to see them, you know, their life end and things like that. It's giving them that impression. And I don't think that's a good message to give young people who are dealing with gender dysphoria. They need support, they need to be uplifted, and they need to be told that they're fine just the way they are. They don't need to be told that everyone's out to get them. That anytime legislation is introduced to protect young people, that is out to, you know, harm them in any way. You need to stop perpetuating lies and brainwashing young people. This is what this sort of thing does, in my opinion.
So check. Yes, you could have stopped him and said something. You should have said something to him. You could have said something and helped me.
I'm good.
Who are you? Do you work?
I believe this person is also a manager, and, you know, he's going to have something to say. But what I'm getting from this is the sense of entitlement. Why does the whole world need to intervene to affirm you? Why does the whole world need to accost somebody who doesn't use the language that you want them to use, who uses the wrong pronouns, who states fact? Not everybody is going to want to do that. And it's funny because I get the impression that this person wants to be treated how people would say you should treat a woman. They want to be treated with chivalry. They want a man to step in and defend their honor. That's the impression. That's the impression I'm getting. Even women don't necessarily demand that anymore, as we've seen when it comes to the whole feminism movement. You know, being independent, I can take care of myself. There's women who don't even demand that anymore. But this person who identifies as a woman, biological male, thinks that people have to intervene and potentially, you know, risk getting themselves into trouble, because these things could lead to altercations. So you want people to intervene, potentially risk their own safety to affirm you, because how dare somebody misgender you?
Work here?
I'm the manager.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You want to tell him?
Yeah, sure. This host who just got brought in, by the way, he's a f***ing asshole. Went out of his way to misgender her 3 times.
He said, "Excuse
We're
me,
walking
sir,
by and called her
sir."
Just walking by. No, it's beyond.
It's beyond that.
He tripled down on it. It's
I wasn't eating here. I'm coming down the sidewalk. He did it to be an asshole, and you stood there and said nothing. You allowed it and giggled.
I didn't get
Just trying to get
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
So guess what? He's a f***ing dickbag, and he shouldn't even have a job.
What's the
But how
name
he
of your
beats towards
restaurant?
people like
What's
that
the
is
name
some
of your
bullshit.
restaurant?
So what do you want?
What is the name of your restaurant?
Work here, my friend.
What's the name of your restaurant? So let me ask you this. Would you allow your host to be racist to somebody and say, well, he works here? So they're transphobic. Your host is attacking someone from a specific minority community. I'm a trans woman.
You are white male. You're not a minority. Sorry.
You don't care, clearly. Now I see why you hire the workers you do. The only nice person here, him, he understood me.
What do you want to say to me?
And
I'm bad one?
right?
well, clearly you're not running your business
I'm
properly.
coming here to see everything, and I thought I'm going to talk to him.
Fuck off. Fuck off. You do nothing. You're not even apologizing. You
I
don't
say 5
you
times.
don't care
I
or
say
feel
5
bad.
times.
You have no
I say
remorse.
5
You have
times
no
to him.
remorse.
What's it?
You have no remorse.
Okay, get the fuck out of here, both of you.
out,
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Come on.
Osteria Barocca.
Get the fuck out of here from me. I don't want to fucking see you. Get the fuck
You don't own the street, sweetheart.
So I don't know if those two are actually together or this is somebody who intervened, but these are two individuals walking down the street. They're both male. He could have easily been like, sir, because he could see that both of you are males. So That I can see how that could happen. Now, again, you're both approaching people, two of you, shouting, being aggressive, swearing. And how do you think they're going to respond? You're not some 5'3" female. You're still a tall, male individual. I'm trying to stick within YouTube's guidelines, by the way. That's why I may hesitate when I speak a certain way. It is what it is. But, you're two male individuals and you're approaching people, kind of aggressive. So what response are you expecting? If you approached a female that way, who misgendered or whatever, I'm sure she would feel pretty intimidated. Or, she might laugh, but generally, you are two males being quite aggressive and coming at people this way. All because of sir. This is why I'm doing these videos, because I want people to realize how ridiculous this is. It's very disruptive. You're coming at people's places of work, and the people who you spoke to, I think it was a woman you spoke to, because I saw her try and get the guy to come inside. And she's she's short. She looks short in the video. You're both approaching her. This guy's an effing a-hole and blah, blah, blah. But she seemed to have responded very respectfully towards you, even though you didn't come at her respectfully. But the way you approached the manager? Nah, no way. What do you want him to do? What he did wasn't good enough for you. His response wasn't good enough for you. And what we're finding today, I think it was Megyn Kelly who said that she was the first person to lose her job because she wasn't offended enough. That's what's happening when it comes to these things. You have to be offended enough. Even if you, as a matter of courtesy, pretend to be offended enough, at least do that. That's what they want you to do. If you don't do that, you will feel their wrath. That's what I'm seeing. That's what happened there. He wasn't offended enough. So you came at him aggressively, swearing, insulting him, asking him what the name of his restaurant is, which sounded like a threat to me. I'm going to report your restaurant. That guy doesn't deserve a job anymore. I heard something like that being uttered. So what do you expect him to do? People are going to be defensive. You can't expect people to have your level of offense. Asking people to intervene. Again, I'm sorry, people intervene when they think, you know what, I've got to say something. And that's fine. If somebody had intervened, fine. You can't expect it, and you can't expect everyone to share your level of offense over being called sir. You can't demand a level of offense that suits your requirements. You can't make those demands on people. You're always going to end up in these sort of situations if that is the case. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves, and God willing, I will see you in the next video.